Hi everyone, Andrew here with Lone Wolf. We're going to get going in just a minute or two here. Just give stragglers an extra second to connect. And then we'll get started. Meantime, I'll pop my screen up so hopefully everyone can see. Nice little introducing screen here. And there we go. Okay, I'm going to start with just a couple of kind of housekeeping items first, and then we'll get down to business. First thing, thank you very much for carving time out of your morning or afternoon, depending on where you're located. I really appreciate you finding an hour out of your busy day for me. I'm excited to show you AuthentiSign 2.0. Biggest question we'll answer right off the start. The session is being recorded, so everyone will have access to the recording of today if you want to hop back and remind yourself of something we went over, or if maybe there's someone else in the office you want to take a look at what's coming down the pipe with AuthentiSign. If you have any questions, we're lucky enough to have Jessica working the questions for us today. So if you have any questions, please use the question rule in GoToTraining. Everyone's been put into what we call listen only mode. So everyone's been on mute. I'm the only voice you'll hear today, but I'm a questions as you go kind of guy. So please ask questions as we move through today's session. I'm going to hop out of this because it's not in the order I thought it was in. You'll have your little GoToWebinar panel. You'll see questions as one of the drop downs there. If you ask a question, myself or Jessica will answer it. And again, a big thank you, Jessica, for working those questions. What I want to take everyone through today is really just the basics of the new AuthentiSign 2.0 upgrade that is coming very soon to AuthentiSign. So today I want to just create a new signing, work through a basic signing with everyone, show how to add participants, how to bring in forms and documents, how to place signatures and initials and date stamps, and understanding what it's like for your participant to sign through AuthentiSign as well. Excellent. We already have a couple of questions floating in. Just as we get started here, out of curiosity, if everyone in today's session could toss a question into the question box and just let me know how long everyone's been using the AuthentiSign to date. Just give me an idea kind of how seasoned everyone is with regards to the older AuthentiSign. And I'm going to get out of our presentation here and come into the agent dashboard of my transaction desk account. The process of creating a signing is one thing that isn't changing with this. You can still start a signing 100 different ways in transaction desk. I'm going to go over to the left side here and I'm going to select my pen, just AuthentiSign over on the left side here. First thing you're going to see with regards to the beta for AuthentiSign 2.0 is that if you have the beta active on your account, you're going to have a tab. You still have access to the classic AuthentiSign. If you're just trying to get a signing out really quick to a signer and you just want to use what you're comfortable with, you still have the classic AuthentiSign available to you. If it's maybe something less urgent, you want to come into the beta, you have your tab up at the top, select beta, and you have your list of beta signings. No matter how you go to start a signing, whether you start a signing here, you start a signing from a form, start a signing from inside your transaction, whenever you go to start a signing, you will be asked, do you want to use the beta do you want to use AuthentiSign Classic? Is this strictly business? Are you trying to get an offer out nice and quick? You still have AuthentiSign Classic. We're obviously here to use the beta. So I'm going to click into the beta. We're going to name the signing. And then we're going to also make sure our signing is part of a transaction. One thing that the system's always done well is making sure information that's already present in your transaction is available in your AuthentiSign signing as well. And so I'm going to just grab one of the offers I'm writing, and we're going to hit save. Depending on how you start your signing, the name might generate a suggestion for you. It may already be related to a transaction. Again, that stuff isn't changing. As soon as you see this screen here, you'll see lots changing though, right? This looks much different than what we're used to with the regular AuthentiSign. The whole signing is done through a screen that looks pretty similar to the design step of the classic AuthentiSign. So we come into our signing right away. We're given a preview of our documents. So if we've already added documents, we will see them here. I'm going to add a document or form just by clicking this big blue button here. And this will ask me where that document or where that form is that I want to get signed. So we're going to grab a couple of forms. You see this is a form. This is when it was last filled in. I'm going to grab the buyer agency and the purchase contract from my forms. We're just going to hit add next to the couple of items we want to put in. You see we still have my transaction documents here. Document. So we know these are things that I've uploaded into the system. We have the option to upload from our computer, right? We have our tabs across the top here. We're going to select upload, import. We can drag and drop, right? One thing that was asked for a while now is the ability to drag and drop into AuthentiSign. We have that. So if I have something on my computer or my downloads folder, we'll come into my downloads, we'll just grab a PDF, water and septic schedule. I'm gonna drag and drop that over, and that uploads. Once you have documents in your new signing, you'll see that you're right away given a preview of the document. Over on the right side, we have all of our controls. So we're in the docs section right now. We see it highlighted in blue. We have the option to add document forms still, so we can add additional forms, documents that we want to get signed. We have our signer. We have tools, different options that we're going to kind of work through. Ability to reorder documents. Maybe I want my purchase contract first. We grab the little 6 dots here, 6 pack of dots. We click and drag it down. We also have numbers. We want to just reorder this way instead of clicking and dragging. And you see this stuff updates in real time. Click on a document, you get additional options as well. Maybe we want to change what this document is named. We want to replace it. I grabbed a blank one instead of the filled out version. Layout function is still here. So all your options are still present. Just click on the document and you get those options. If you remember back in AuthentiSign Classic, you click on a document, you have to wait for this pop-up to load. With the new design at Snappier, you have access quicker to these options. So we've put in what we want to have signed. Again, all of your controls are over in the top right now. So next thing I want to do is put in who I want to sign. So we're going to click over to signers. We're going to put signers in the blue, and we're going to add our contacts. Adding our contacts, we can add ourselves, add a participant from scratch, add from our transaction, add from our general contacts, add from Google Contacts. So all the options you're used to still here. I'm going to select to add a participant, and this allows me to just type in the person from scratch. Add in my friend buyer here, add in their name, add in their email, role. We'll assign a role. Role again, similar function to classic. The system uses the role to know where this person needs to sign on all of the Instinet forms. So good thing to set, but something that's optional. Save to my contact list. I want Tim saved to my digital address book for future signings. We have our signer type, reviewer, remote signer, or CC. We have our signing pin. So we're going to save. I want Tim as a remote signer. I'm going to add him in here. We have additional contacts here as well. I'm going to add in a second contact, this time from our transaction. Going to give us a list of here are the people in our transaction. People we've typed into forms, people we've imported from listings, if that's available to you, people we've added to that contact section of our transaction. So we have add contacts. We have those options here. We scroll down, we'll see now that we've added Tim in to this Instinet form, the system layouts still apply. So anywhere that the buyer needs to sign on these contracts, here we go, we come into our receptacle, it's placed for us. System sees, says buyer's initials, Tim's the buyer, and it's placed that for us. This wasn't a form, this was something I uploaded from my computer. And the system has read the document to see buyer's initial and placed that block there for me. So we have our block here for our signer, just like we normally would with Instinet forms, but the machine has gotten smarter. It's now able to read a document I've uploaded and place an initial block on that for me. So these system layouts are no longer just for forms. Things that you upload will have blocks placed for us as well. Pretty cool. If there's a place that hasn't been added in, we look here, something like buyer's initials, we still have all of our tools. So switching from signers to tools now, the tools box is where you'll have the drag and drop menu and the markup tools and those options that you're used to seeing in step 4 of classic AuthentiSign. So we're going to select what we want to grab. You see some of the tools have been renamed, but they're all still here. So we have signatures, we have initials, which is what I want. So I'm going to just drag and drop that over. You can still resize, you can still reposition. You notice as I drop an initial block, a date stamp, it's automatically adding now for me. And instead of right clicking to get a bunch of options, right clicking to add a name block or a timestamp, we just select, and the menu over on the right side is changing and giving us access to those tools now. So to change my format for my date, I'm no longer right clicking, selecting date format, and then selecting the format in a pop-up. This allows us to be snappier, quicker. So click on my format and then click over on the right side and select the format. We also have our signing fields. If you want to add labels, we've added a couple of fields as well. Classic AuthentiSign would just have the name and a date field. We've added a time field, and we've also added an email address field, right? If I've forgot to place an email somewhere, really quick, just drag and drop that email over. So really small addition to this step, but something that's now available. And then we have our markup, and our markup has been rolled into the tools category. So it's in the same box as your drag and drop menus now. And you can add text box, you can add a line, freehand and highlight. So those tools are back. Oh, that's a big icon. Scroll up. I'm just going to find a number, I'll price, and you can, I guess I didn't fill out the price. That's okay. We're going to strike out key bank. We're going to grab a, grab the text box, we're going to add that over. And we're going to type into our box here. There we go. Drag that over. Okay. So pretty similar function here for you. So we got our signers, we got our docs, we got our tools. Really quick thing in signers that I overlooked, set signing order. This is like your sign in line or your simul sign. Do we want to set the signing order, or do we want it to go to everyone all at the same time? Right. So there's your sign in line, simul sign kind of choice. Set signing order or don't set the signing order. All right, I'm going to send this out. So we got who is signing, what they're signing, where they're signing done for us here. We're going to go up, we're going to hit continue over in the top right. And that's going to send out. It's going to let us know you successfully completed the creation of this signing. Still have the option to customize the emails that go out. Otherwise, we're just going to hit send. And we're just going to send out the kind of default boilerplate invite here. So we're going to send that out, and we're going to be brought back to our list of signings. With the list of signings, you're going to see the status. No longer that big lightning bolt, those kind of dated items. We have these little labels that let us know this has been sent. So instead of in progress, it's now sent. Right, if we look at our, I don't have any classics in here. We come into an in progress signing, so a signing that we've sent out. See, it gives us a pop-up with access to this information, so this loads much quicker as well. Excuse me. And instead of accordions with access to things like the people who are signing, the forms that are being signed in the history, we now have tabs. And so we have access to the originals, and we'll see revisions show up in this menu as it gets signed. Access again to our history. So the stuff is presented clear, but it also gives us access to this information quicker, right? The option to resend, we've clarified the resend button to resend to just unsigned participants. So just to make extra sure you know, resend is not sending to people who have already signed. And then we have a more option here if you're looking to do something like reset the signing, delete it, create a copy of it. So we have that. I'm going to just go over to my off-screen inbox here. And send and receive, and I should have that invite. I do. I'm going to pop that over to, as you can see, the invite, not something that's changed. Email still looks the same. Obviously, you still have the option to brand it if you've branded these emails already. We're going to hit start signing. So myself as Tim, I get the email, I hit start signing, or brought into the signing. There we go. So Tim, our signer now, is brought in. Here's our terms of service, our end user license agreement, good legal jargon no one likes to read. We're going to hit accept here. We're brought into the document. And then we have our start button up here. Just kind of a cleaner presentation. All the options are still here. Reject is no longer grayed out. And it's moved away from the start button. So if anyone ever hit it by accident, that's much, much less likely now. And it looks clickable instead of being grayed out. We're here. We're going to hit start. It snaps us to the first block. We're going to click that. And the first time we go to sign, AuthentiSign will bring up our options to create. So instead of doing this immediately right at the start, it's going to wait until Tim goes to sign. And the first time he goes to sign, he's going to design his signature, where we can pick one of our pre-made fonts, or we can draw out our signature. We have the draw tab here. We have a little options as well to customize. Well, that looks like a J. Hit the little X, get rid of that. This is the most fun I have doing this webinar, so we're gonna just let me finish. There we go. We'll do a little heart. Right. There's our signature. We're gonna set that. In the future, when Tim goes to sign, it's going to remember what his signature and initial looks like. So he won't need to redraw that, just the same way AuthentiSign does that today. He'll have the option to change it, but he won't have to if he doesn't want to continue using what he's already designed. We're going to initial, we're going to sign, and it's going to let us know you're almost done. And we're done. So at this point, we're done. Okay. Signed documents are going back to the signers, to the system, to my inbox. That pop-up that used to present them with the option to create a password, they still have the option to do it. It's just cleaned up a little. They can click here for more information about doing that. And then they can provide some feedback here as well about how easy the process was. If they don't do anything here, if they just close the tab, AuthentiSign is done, right? They've finished signing, it doesn't matter. When I close this out, our signing is now done. So if I give the page a quick refresh here, see our label is now complete. We have little check marks here. So without even opening the signing, I know. Check mark for Scott's grayed out. He hasn't signed yet. Check mark for Tim is checked off. So I know he is signed because we have that check mark in green. We're going to click into our completed signing. And again, we have our options up at the top. We know he's authenticated. We know he's finished signing. So here we have the original. Here we have this signed copy of the document. Here we have the certificate. We have the option to copy those to our cloud storage partners. Every single thing you can do in Classic AuthentiSign, you can do in this new version. We've cleaned things up, so the UI is a lot more user-friendly, a lot easier to just kind of pick up and use, and a lot quicker to load, which I'm sure everyone is excited about. The signed documents as part of my transactions will come back into my documents as well. So we have our signed agreement, and we have an email from AuthentiSign letting us know that the signing is complete with links to everything. We made pretty good time. I think I had too much coffee before this session. Maybe I talked a little bit quick because we still have a fair amount of time left. I'm okay giving people a little bit of time back in your day, but for the remaining time, if anyone has any questions, anything they were hoping to see today that they haven't seen, if you just want to pop stuff into questions, I'll take a little bit of Jessica's workload off her plate, and I'll kind of spend some time answering the last few questions here. If the signer rejects a signature or initial, will it allow them to sign all the rest? So if we go back here, I have a sign that I was sending before today, waiting. So if we click in and we start signing, let me bring up that sign here. Accept. If the users use this reject option, it's rejecting the whole signing. And they can tell why. We have pre-done reasons, kind of like canned notes here. They can hit other and say why they're rejecting the whole signing. They use this reject option. That is for the whole signing. If you've added an optional signature block, so you've added a block here that allows them to choose to accept or reject that one block, then it will only be for that one block and it will allow them to sign the whole signing. So the answer to the initial question, if a signer rejects a signature or initial, will it allow them to sign all the rest? The answer to that is just dependent on how you set the signing up. Another question we have, will I get notified that all the assigned fields were not signed and or someone was rejected? Yes, you will be notified. If they reject the signing, you will receive an email notification that the signing was rejected by the signer and why they rejected it. If they just reject one of the blocks, if you set the block to be optional to allow them to reject it and they reject it, you will not be told about that one specific block that they rejected it, because you said it was okay for them to reject it while still signing the rest of the document. How can I upload a document, delete out a page, or rearrange pages, then save? Or do I have to run it through signings? So you can do that through the documents. We have a document slicer that's built directly for that. This being an AuthentiSign webinar, we're going to go back to AuthentiSign and look at how to do that through signings. So while I'm switching over here, call out to Elizabeth is dominating questions. If anyone else has any questions, please feel free to join in. Toss those into the little questions box here. I'm going to start a new beta signing. Give it a name. We're going to add a document. I'm going to actually just upload from my downloads folder here, as I have a pre-built document that's good for this kind of slicing. One thing I just caught myself doing, normally when you get this drag and drop, if you're in like the document section or something, you click it and you get that file selector. If you want, instead of drag and dropping to get that file selector, just hit the add document from drop down and hit my computer. And you get this. And again, if you're going to slice up a document, you can do this through documents. There's a document slicer there. I'm going to grab, we'll grab some Nova Scotia forms. We'll upload those in. But to do that through AuthentiSign, you add the document, and then with docs selected on the right side, so with docs blue, we're going to click on the document that I uploaded, and we're going to have all of our options here. Everything we would look to do, we have. So drag and drop pages to reorder, or select to select multiple pages that you wish to delete. So we have the option if I want to reorder this. Grab page 12 and we'll just drag it up, and now it's page 10. We're going to grab page 12, I'm going to drag it up, and it's back. Right, so you can just drag and drop the pages. Maybe I uploaded it and I realized, oh shoot, I meant to take this one out of the scanner. We're going to click on it. So I'm going to scroll up, we're going to hit select, and now we're going to click on it. So I'm going to click on these last 3 pages here, and then we're going to hit delete selected pages. 12-page document I uploaded is now just 9 pages. We trimmed out those last 3. So you can reorder, rearrange, you can delete those pages. Again, just by clicking on the document, scrolling down to the bottom here, where you have a little built-in document slicer. We're going to hit save. And that's going to update my previewed document here. At least it should have. I'm quite sure what I did. There we are. I don't know what I did the first time. There we go. You see 1 of 9. My slide pages are gone. If you want to allow someone to accept or reject, so if you want to add one of those blocks to be optional to reject, you add the block over. So we'll have, oh, I don't have a signer. You want to make sure you have someone sign the document first. So We'll add Scott Beyer, my kind of go-to fake person. And we'll grab our tools and we'll add a block over. You see how the label is required? If I click on the block, I go over here and I just uncheck required. This is now optional. They can sign here or they can choose not to sign there, but still finish signing the document. So I add the block, click on the block, and uncheck required on the right side. I'm going to save and exit here. Elizabeth, outside of AuthentiSign, but you're the only one asking the question. So I'm going to just quickly show you where that document slicer is outside of AuthentiSign as well. If you don't want to use AuthentiSign, but you want to slice out a document, upload the document to Documents. So we've put it into our document section here. I'm going to grab our NA forms again, that 12-pager I was working with earlier. So you add the documents. Once the document is here, you give it a click, and we have a document slicer just in the top right, these 3 pages. Here is our 12-page document, and again, I can select, we have working with the real estate industry here. We're going to select those. I'm going to delete that out. We're going to select them. We can save it as its own document. We can again drag and drop pages if we want and do everything here. You're going to be getting the document signed through AuthentiSign. You can do all of this in AuthentiSign as well. It's a lot more user friendly than it was in the classic version. We close out here, so a little bonus extra credit since you've been so good on questions. Hopefully that helps. Scrolling through here, I think we have all of the other questions answered. I'll put a final call out there if anyone has anything that we're hoping to see with the new beta of AuthentiSign, or anything they've always wished AuthentiSign could do. If you're wondering if it's possible in the new beta, if there's something you want me to go back over, happy to spend the time. If we are all out of questions, then I want to again thank everyone very much for carving an hour out of your day for me. I really appreciate it, and I'm really excited to get everyone onto this new update for AuthentiSign. It's going to save everyone a lot of time. Said it's way cleaner, it's quicker to use, you get more access faster. So hopefully everyone likes it, and hopefully you all have a great rest of your afternoon. I'm gonna call it a session. Thanks everyone.